Have certainly decamped en masse from North Clare in their bid to bring home the aptly named Michael Cusack Cup for this Senior C All-Ireland Masita PPS Hurling Final. Well, a man that knows this Ennistymon team very well indeed is one of Clare's GDAs, Peter Casey, who's alongside me here this afternoon. Peter, a big afternoon ahead for all these lads on the team.
Yeah, huge day ahead. An All-Ireland Final. These lads have been on the road every week for the last number of weeks. Had a great campaign in Munster, had four games. I was at a couple of the games there. The one against Cormac in the semi-final was a very tough day in LIT, and they came out on top that day. They did an easy enough Munster final against Ballingarry, and they really showed their skills that day. They're a really good hurling team, Derek, you know, and with a good strong spine of a team as well. So it's a huge day. They'll be disappointed, you know, after losing the football final last weekend. You know, the lads probably felt that they didn't perform well enough last week, you know, and so hopefully they'll be focused for today, and they'll be ready to give a very good performance.
Here you're hearing behind us is for Naomh Cormac, who are out onto the field with their jerseys. Think back to that famous Derby goal for Offaly, and they're the kind of jerseys that they're wearing here in Tumivara this afternoon. Ennistymon, of course, will be in those familiar green jerseys with the white numbers on the back that are easy enough to spot, thankfully, from a commentator's point of view. Let's run you through the teams. Ennistymon CBS made up from 4 different clubs. Kieran Daniels, the sole Kilmaley representative, in goal. It's a full back line of Coleman Kelly of Ennistymon, Mark O'Loughlin of Corrafin, and Mark Canlon from Ennistymon. The half back line, Liam Cotter of Ennistymon, Ricky Wynn, Ennistymon, and he's joined by his clubmate James Cullinan. It's an all combo pairing in the middle of the park for Keith Barry and Shane Woods. Niall Mullins, we spoke about him plenty last year in the Clare Senior Hurling Championship. He wears 11. Josh Fahan and MacDara O'Keefe either side of him, and it's a full forward line of the Ennistymon duo of Josh Guyler and Sean Rinn, and they're joined inside there by Mark Kelleher of Ennistymon. And Peter, I suppose no more than we spoke about in the football last week. Couple of injuries obviously for the squad to deal with here, but a feeling that there's a good depth in this panel to cope with that.
Yeah, there is. Mark Kelleher has played a good bit. He's come on a lot. As I'm looking out at the moment, I see Ricky Wynn, Jamie Wynn, number 15, is in the huddle. There were reports that he was injured and he wouldn't be playing, but maybe he's starting. But they have 3 or 4 very good subs. Mark Kelleher, Paddy Constantine has come on in games as well. Brian McNamara has come on as well. So they have a very good squad. A very good squad of players.
Yeah, just as you mentioned that, certainly number 15 out there, Jamie Wynn, looks like a man that might be involved from the start. We'll just wait and see. Just see the mighty John Kelly skirting around to the back of the huddle there to get the pictures. No doubt he'll have plenty of them on the Clare Champion website a little bit later on this evening. Massive crowd here, Peter. We were saying, watching them coming in at 3:05 and 3:10, they were starting to stream in, but a huge crowd have come here.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere, great banter here between the sports at the moment. All the teachers from the CBS are sitting down in front of us here. Mary Lyons, the principal, and I see Lawrence Healy down there as well, who's teaching in the school, and it's a great occasion. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity playing an All-Ireland final. A lot of these lads will be going to college in September. It's the last year of the school, and we've been speaking to the CBS and the other 2 schools in Ennistymon are being amalgamated. So in September 12 months it'll be a community school. So it's a fantastic occasion, and just hope that the fellas really deliver a good performance now today and do themselves justice.
I have to say, Peter, one of the highlights for me has happened already. It was the man sitting to your right hand side when he took his seat here in the stand. He said when he saw our Clare FM microphone, he said, "Lads, don't pick me up shouting now." And we told him the only way to do that is don't be shouting, because the microphone is fairly close to him. But that's the kind of crack that's going on in the stand, as Peter said. Right good banter between the supporters as well. A word on the conditions, Peter. Field looks fine. There was a Camogie League game, a Tipperary Camogie League game on here earlier this morning between the home club, and they didn't quite catch their opponents, but the field looks good. It's dry overhead. There is a nice breeze. We're practically sitting on the sideline here. We can see the flags right in front of us. They're blowing away to our left hand side. It will be probably a factor.
Yeah, it will. I think it's a good dry sod. It's a bit bumpy, but sure, you'd expect that for this time of year anyway, and I think we're standing now for the national anthem.
We are indeed. get sick of not being able to hear it, but it looks unfinished anyway. Both teams are sprinting off to their respective positions. Looks as if Ennistymon will be playing with that breeze in the first half as we watch the defenders from Naomh Cormac. 14 of the starting 15 for this Naomh Cormac team coming from that famed club in Offaly, Cormac Killahy. The odd man out, Patrick Carroll from Drumcullen, wearing the number 7 jersey at wing back. Positional changes of plenty, Peter, loads to look forward to.
Yeah, and I see Jamie Winnes starting corner forward. He'll probably come out around the middle of the field. They normally play a 2-man full forward line of Josh Kyler and Sean Rinn, and the tactic is try to get the ball in there. So we're underway, Derek.
Underway, we might as well get the stopwatch going as well as the first attack is underway for the men from Cormac Killahy. The first shot at goals from Alex Kavanagh. He's their corner forward wearing the number 13 jersey. Doesn't register a wide as it's handy enough inside for Kieran Daniels, the Kilmaley man, to clear his lines. First chance of the afternoon over on the far side of the field as we just watch the ball very, very close to the sideline, and maybe an indication there, Peter, of the strength of the breeze. Your man spun maybe 50 yards out from goal and it dropped short.
Yeah, dropped into the goalie's hands, and he looks like a skillful hurler. He was out early, out in front of his man, struck the ball pretty well, but got held up in the breeze. So it is quite a strong breeze. Could be a 6 or 7 point breeze, Derek.
Well, the wind won't win you much unless you put the work in with it, and that's exactly what these Ennistymon lads will be hoping to do. First line cut of the afternoon for Shane Woods, well controlled outside there by Liam Copper. Outstanding he was in that football final last week, albeit in defeat, through the hands of Ricky Wynn on the far side of the field. Now off goes Woods again, heading over towards that far stand sideline, drives the ball into the corner. Fresh high ball taken down there by Sean Rinn. Great hands from the Naomh man, swinging it over the left shoulder, pumping the fist as he does and putting it straight between the poles. A fine score, made of simplicity, a big ball into the big man Peter, who did the rest.
Yeah, great score by Sean Rinn. A fantastic start from him. He's a really good hurler, Derek. If he gets the ball in his hand, he's a fantastic striker. He's been one of the main scorers all year.
The scoreboard thankfully is in operation. I was starting to get worried there. We'd have to get the old pen and paper out. First point on the board for Ennistymon. Looking at the clock, just a minute and a half gone. The Falls Hotel and Spa and Ennistymon are commentary sponsors, and a big thanks to Dan and Michael and all the crew up there, Sharon as well indeed, for the mighty wedding we had on St Patrick's night, as my own sister tied the knot with the mighty Brendan O'Brien, a grand Kilmurray and Milltown and Clonbunny wedding, all tied in the one. Still feeling the after effects of it, and there's still 2 days to go in the weekend. I believe they're heading for Quilty and Milltown this evening. We might get to join them later on, and hopefully the Michael Cusick Cup will be going back to the Falls Hotel for Dan and Eileen and all the crew to have it up there for the evening. First free of the afternoon is going to come in around the 265 metre lines. It'll be Shane Woods to take it. Wind that he's back, and Peter, as you well know, with that wind blowing, anything between the 265s probably goes down as a scoring chance. Yeah, probably is a scoring chance. A great start by Shane Woods. Shane is a really fantastic hurler. He's the engine of the team there in midfield, and won that ruck, came out and got the ball. I don't think he's going to go for a score, but the way he's shaping up, he might be trying to get it back in. Just seemed to get away from him as he struck that ball, and it's easy enough for the Naomh Cormac defence to pick that up through Oisin Martin, but half blocked down there. Good pressure being put on outside by the half forward line combination of McDarrow O'Keefe and Josh Vaughan, getting the ball back down to the ground and scrapping for it now as they do. Ball going out towards that far side, and it's going to be a line ball. And that work rate, Peter, is something that is very, very evident, we'll say, in the modern game of hurling now. But putting the pressure on that half back line and not allowing the supplies to come in. It's vital, because in both teams there's good forwards. The number 13 there for Kilcormac, Alex Kavanagh, looks a very decent hurler, and they're trying to get ball to him. If he gets early ball into him, he's going to be dangerous. So it's very important in the time that they put maximum pressure on those half-backs and midfielders. They've done well to recycle that ball from that line ball, and that man inside in the corner is the target for it, Kavanagh, but he's been well marshalled this afternoon so far by this Ennistymon defence. So coming out along this near stand side, a lovely long ball into the corner as we lean out to try and look around and see exactly who's coming out. But it's Sean Lynn getting away from it, but that's well turned over by Colin Spain from the Kilcormac Killahy club, driving it down along towards Adam Screeney. He's in a race there with Matt Cannon, as Cannon who turns it over. Lovely hands to get that ball away up to his centre back Ricky Wynn, who decides to go long, that big long delivery down towards the big man wearing 14, Sean Rinn. He's battling for it. When you have a big man like that, Peter, we saw with that first score, a big man, good hands and well able to hurl. Oh yeah, very good. There's some great battles, you know. Every ball has been very keenly contested. A great tussle between Mark O'Loughlin and Alex Kavanagh at one end, and there's two men on Sean Rinn now at the moment as well, but Ennistymon have a line ball here, and hopefully we get something out of it. line ball about maybe 40 yards out from the post, and everybody just standing now in their seats to try and see can they get a view of this connection. The target is Rinn once more. He's been pushed in the back. It's going to be a free in. Looking at the clock, 4 minutes gone, 1 point to no score. It's Ennistymon leading. They'll be happy enough, Peter, just to let the game settle down into a pattern.
They've settled well, you know. Sean Rinn has got his score. Shane Woods has got a few balls. Mark O'Loughlin has won his couple of balls so far as well. A great ball in there by Josh Vaughan from Ennistymon as well. So they'll be happy. And here is Josh Kyle instead of the first free.
Left hand side of the post, no more than 25 or so yards out, makes light of the angle. Easy enough to spot him inside with that bright pink grip on the hurley, and he uses it to maximum effect as he puts it straight between the posts. It's 2 points to no score. It's Ennistymon CBS leading. We've got 5 minutes on the clock here in Toomevara in North County Tipperary, just off the motorway. Grand handy place to get to, and a fine hurling field it is too, with a club with a great tradition here in what they call the Premier County, as that ball goes out over the in-line, or the sideline rather, just right here in front of us. If we were any closer to the sideline, Peter, we could nearly take this one ourselves, but it's Ricky Wynn who is going to take us. The man wearing the number 6 jersey, blue helmet here, big imposing figure in that centre back line for the Ennistymon CBS. Been good connection on that too. His hands, lovely tongue from Niall Mullins to get away. Gets the hand pass across, all it goes out towards Guyler, just the ball bobbled away from him, but he did very well indeed to get that up. Surely that was a push in the back. Referee happy enough to let it go. Guyler back to Mullins on one, swing and a turn and a belt towards the post, and an umpire nods to the other, but he's telling him that it's gone to the right and wide. Niall Mullins immediately put up the hand. He thought that was gone over. Lightning quick hands to get that shot away there.
Yeah, and the chance was there. He threw out the pass to Josh Guyler. Unfortunately, the pass spilled. There was probably half a goal chance for a second, Derek. When the ball spilled in, they did well to win it back, but the ball was just wide. Great catch originally from Niall Mullins, so it's good to see him getting on the ball as well. And
you were saying earlier, like, you look at that front six, particularly for Ennistymon, if they get enough ball, they'll damage most teams.
Oh, they will, and that's, you know, that ball to the full forward line is really what they're looking at, and as a team, if there's half a goal chance to they tend to go for goals, you know. Great strikers of ball there, like Niall Mullins, Josh Guyler, Sean Rinn, McDarragh O'Keefe and Joshua Vaughan, they're all able to score, like, so they're fine skillful hurlers.
Absolutely, and hoping to make the most of that as well under the management team, of course, of Jason Duffy and Tara Rinn, being well helped as well by Micheál Duffy and Michael Fahasty as well. So a fine management team over a fine Ennistymon CBS team, who again breaking out front of the fence with Ricky Wynn, big strong as we mentioned, but that ball just going astray, goes back to the ground now, and it's Lee Kavanagh who has it for Naomh. Cormac has to get the call to come back. Did he touch it on the ground? The referee is saying he did. I don't know, is it touching on the ground, Peter, or one of these famous hand passes that everybody's talking about now? Either way, free for Ennistymon.
Yeah, he could have got it free maybe himself, you know, but I'd say the referee thought maybe that he felt himself that he wasn't fouled, and then throw out the hand pass or the throw, and anyway, Joshua Guyler has a free now about 55 metres out with dead straight in front of the post.
Should make the most of this, and he was fairly nonchalant as he struck that, but it just went to the right and wide. It's a little bit comfortable taking it, perhaps. You're going to need all those chances on a day like today.
Yeah, it's probably one that he'd be disappointed with. It was a bread and butter free really, but the breeze is probably tricky, you know. It might be blown into that corner more so than straight down the field. Yeah,
because there's a bit of a swirl on it, alright, as we watch the captain Charlie Bracken for Naomh Cormac being upended there, bringing the free and taking it quickly in towards this target, and Kavanagh as well to get it off towards Daniel Hand, striking it off the left hand side. Fine score for Naomh Cormac to get him off the board here in Toomevara. 2 points to 1, 8 minutes gone. It's the first time we've seen this man wearing 14, Peter, playing out around the right half forward position. He's been able to finish.
Daniel Hand, yeah, got the ball in his hand and off his left side, scored a point, and you know, this Cormac team, they're strong, fit team, good hurlers as well, so I'd say we're in for an intriguing match.
Fine hurling as well from Coleman Kelly with number 2 in his back, going up to win that ball, and getting this latest attack going with Keith Barry playing it right into the corner, trying to make that ball disappear in towards Sean Rinn. Does well to get it just before the end line, good hands as well. He's getting the screaming call from Jamie Wynn, but he just can't find him because he's been well held up over on the far side of the field, bearing down on goal, flicking it in out towards Wynn, that just wouldn't come to hand. All of it helpless skelter inside around the 21 metre line, and eventually it's taken away, and it's Colin Spain who has it for Naomh Cormac, driving along this race outside, and again fantastic fantastic defending from Liam Cotter. He won't go back from it anyway, that's for sure. Puts in a big hit again on the blind side, gets the ball back to the ground on his hands and knees, trying to pick this one up. Ball flipped clear by Colin Spain, now trying to get it up into his hand outside there too is James Cullen. Everybody watching, the linesman is inside. He has the unenviable task of looking to know who's going to put this one out over the sideline. If that's where it goes, there's a whole host of bodies just camped on the 45 metre line. The referee has seen enough. He's happy enough to throw the ball in. That one was going to be allowed to develop Peter as much as he could, but the right call from the ref.
Yeah, he's letting the game go so far. He's let the flow fairly well. It's tough stuff, Derek. Every ball's been well contested. Cheers to Pocket Rock and Liam Cotter. His parents are behind us here at the moment. He's been a very good performance so far, and he's after getting the sideline. So hopefully a good connection here, and then we'll be able to clear their lines.
Yeah, Liam Cotter was stuck in everything they did in the football last week, and a great quote from Dino was that the more of it he gets, the more he wants more of it. And that's exactly the way this fella plays, with heart on the sleeve, and certainly he's getting plenty of it here in these opening 10 minutes into Mivara. It's Ennistymon and CBS leading by 2 points to 1. That could be about to change. Here comes Mullins bearing down a goal bullet. Fantastic score. Niall Mullins is the man that finished it. The ball broke around the 45 metre line. He danced into space up to the 21, and a bullet to the bottom left hand corner. There's no stopping those ones, as Ennistymon go 1-2 to a point clear. Niall Mullins clinical as ever.
A fantastic goal by Niall Mullins, put it into the side of the goals. He had a player inside. It will remind you of Conor McGrath's goal in the Hurling Final in 2013. Carried it through, struck from around that distance as well. But what a brilliant shot. And now we have Josh Guyler with another score. And it's time we have the purple patch now, Derek.
Absolutely. They always talk about the points after the goal. Will you make it a 3 or a 2 point score? And it's a 4 point score as it is now for the men from Ennistymon and CBS, with that latest one from Joshua Guyler. 1-3 to a point. They lead. Fantastic start here in these first 10 minutes, but all coming from the work rate inside around that middle third. Here's Guyler again, a lovely angle ball across. Horrendous gamble there, hoping to go over the top, but that's fine defending by the Naomh Cormac men and their fullback James Mahan, who looks up and plays an angle ball down that far stand sideline towards Adam Screeney, but he's well matched there by Mark Cannon. Gets the ball back to the ground, puts it out over the sideline. For all the finishing that's going on up here to our left hand side, Peter, it's this area of the field right here in front of us between the 65 and 45, the pressure that's being put on and the quality of the ball going in.
Yeah, well, to talk about the middle third has been a very important area to win, I suppose, especially in conditions like this. You know, it's a fine day here, but it's windy and the pitch is kind of rough. You know, the ball is easy to get up in the hand, and those individual battles are really, really important to win. But like, Ennistymon will be very, very happy with how they're going. I think, you know, they've tied down Cormac's couple of danger men so far. Mark Callan there is having a battle there with Adam Screeney. Mark is down injured at the moment, but I think he might be okay. But Kilcormac have a free here now, alright, you know. But that middle third area, Ennistymon will be happy with about 12 minutes gone in the game that they're after getting the foothold there already.
Falls Hotel and Spa and Ennistymon, our commentary sponsors, had the pleasure, well, I don't know what you call it, the pleasure of being inside in the swimming pool at 9 o'clock after a wedding the night before, but we were there anyway, and mighty, of course, to see that facility well used up there in North Clare as well. Let's see, thankfully Cameron's back up onto his feet, getting the round of applause from the crowd here in front of us, and it's going to be a first free of the afternoon for the free taker over the far side of the field for Naomh Cormac. He's between the 45 and 65 metre lines. It's a tidy enough kind of an angle. Let's see, can he cut across it? It drops in, it has to be battled away, well defended it is by the Ennistymon men. The penalty clear, the midfielder is darting through, he has the advantage, bearing down on goal. Referee happy enough to let the play continue. Now he'll bring it back. Good officiating from our match official, that has to be said. Colin Spain, though, very prominent early doors, Peter, for Naomh Cormac. He's a real live wire at number 8.
He's a real live wire, yeah, and there was a goal chance there for a minute as well. He was fouled, the referee gave the advantage, but Ennistymon defence held out anyway, so he brought it back. But it just shows you the strength of the breeze. Like, that free was on the 45 out by the sideline, and it dropped short, you know, so it is a very, very big breeze, Derek, and it's probably getting bigger. Yeah,
that goal could be all important in terms of building up a half-time lead for the Ennistymon men as we watch the free taker there. Sweeney kept this one low, took the breeze out of the equation, put it straight between the posts. It's Ennistymon 1-3, it's Naomh Cormac 2 points. We have 13 and a half minutes gone in this opening half. Puck out for Kieran Daniels, dropping it long down towards the 65 metre line, up towards the hand of Shane Woods. but it breaks down in front of him. It's the full forward Daniel Hampton's working between the 265s. Does well to find Alex Kavanagh, top of the right position, trying to shorten up the grip. Oh, a lovely dinky ball inside, but there was nobody there to read it. Only the Ennistymon defence. Hand pass though just wouldn't come up for them. The ball has gone back to the ground. The ruck has developed. Will we see something like this at the Aviva later? No doubt we will. We'll see plenty of it too in Musgrave Park tomorrow with the two Clare boys on the panel. Coughlin and Butler hoping to be part of that Grand Slam winning team for the Irish under-20s. What a fabulous achievement that would be for the two Dura Bearfield boys. Fine hurlers and footballers too they are. But this ball is dropping long right down into the direction once more of Guyler, and we just watch and wait and see that the hand was on the shoulder there. Referee, yeah, certainly spotted this. Very impressed by this referee early doors, Peter, as you mentioned, letting things go and pulling what he has to.
Yeah, he's a young ref, keeping up with the play, but like in these conditions it could be a free a minute all the time, and he's not doing that. You know, it's tough stuff, and you've got to win your free if you're going to get it. But here we are now again, another contest in the middle of the field.
Yes, Daniel Handel has it broken clear towards the 45-metre line. Suddenly there's a bit of green grass in front of him. It goes back to the ground. He has it back up into his hand, but he's forced back around, swings off the left shoulder and puts that one across the goal and to the left and wide. Looked like he had found the space to just swing it over the shoulder. Tony Kelly can do it in his sleep. In fairness to young hand, he has a bit to go before he'll be in that kind of territory, but it just went to the left hand side and it went wide. Hook out again for Sweeney. Opts to change the point attack over to the far side towards Mullins. Ball breaks down. McDarragh O'Keefe battling away over there for it, just in the shadow of the terraced hill as we'll call it over on the far side. It's a fine day. There's hats and shorts over. It's a strange enough combination, but the ball has gone out over the sideline, gone to the Kilcormac-Killahy men, who in fairness, Peter, you have to say have weathered the storm after that goal.
They have. The last 5 minutes they've done very, very well again. Now it's 1-3 to 2 points. There's only 4 points in it, and with that breeze they'll be happy enough as well, Derek.
And they're in possession of the sliotar with Screeney again just trying to make the angle to shoot it over the right shoulder, but once again the ball drops short and Kieran Daniels comes out of the goal. He's met there and he's under severe pressure. He's going to need a little bit of help because the ball is being turned over. Could be a big chance here for the Kilcormac men. Referee is the hand up for advantage, happy enough to let the play go, and from an Ennistymon point of view they'll be happy the ball has gone wide, but he's coming back for the free. First moment of a little bit of panic inside. Kieran Daniels just got a little bit isolated, but you have to credit the Naomh Cormac attackers, Peter. They often talk about your defence starting at number 15. They did just that there.
They did. They put pressure on the goalie. He's had a few balls to deal with at the moment, a few high catches, and he's done quite well. He was just caught there, and again there was half a goal chance, and it's going to be, I'd say, a score for Kilcormac, for Naomh Cormac, and now we're going to get a goal in it again.
Yeah, Screeney does the business from the 21-metre line, and in fairness to young Daniels inside the goals, Peter, we were spoken about the breeze, but it's hard to judge because you make your run out where you think the ball is going to come, and often it's dropping short of that point.
I've been very impressed with him all year. He's been cool, and he's used possession very, very well. His puck-outs are very good.
Mullins trying to use possession there, he's half blocked down as we try and skirt around the spectators here. Mullins again with the strike, and again just going to the left hand side and wide, maybe wasn't on. 1-3 to 3 points. It's Ennistymon CBS leading. We have 17 minutes gone, Peter. What has been an entertaining, as we've said, both teams giving it everything.
Both teams giving everything. Yeah, Niall Mullins had a chance there again, just wide. 3 wides now at the moment for Ennistymon, so they just only have to watch that. They could do with a score to settle down again now.
Liam Potter is the man on the ball wearing their white helmet, but it's being turned over again, and now Naomh Cormac just starting to really grow into this game, and particularly that man wearing the number 13 jersey. Wood goes back to try and break that up, though from an Ennistymon point of view. Back there too is Ricky Wynn, just trying to grow his influence on this game. Gets it out to the far stand side and does well out to McDarragh O'Keefe, turns and goes with a more centred delivery in towards Joshua Boyler. Now there's a spare man put back there to try and deal with that threat with Josh Bohan suddenly now trying to find a bit of space, bearing down on goal, has a man inside, tries to slip it through. Is it going to be a second goal? That's brilliant defending. The ball just wouldn't come to hand. It was Sean Will inside who tried to meet it first time, but the defenders were there to bring it clear for the Naomh Cormac men. It stays 1-3 to 3 points, and it's Diamond still leading, and now off go Naomh Cormac trying to build the counter attack, putting it along the far side there for Alex Kavanagh to run onto. He's in a right hand battle outside with Mark O'Loughlin. Not easy get away from the Cormac man, gets it back into the waiting arms outside there of Screeney. He has a shot at the post, but that one just goes to the left hand side and wide. Danger at one end, Peter, a wide at the other. It's end-to-end stuff. Fabulous hurling so far.
Fabulous hurling, loads of chances, loads of goal chances, 2 good sets of forwards. They've put up high scores in all their games so far, and you can see it why. Like as soon as the ball goes in to us forward lines, there's chances of plenty. Joshua Vaughan did very, very well there. Ran through, gave a pass to Sean Rinn. Sean just didn't control it, but it was a fantastic run. It was a fantastic goal chance as well, and we're on again.
It remains a 3-point game, 1-3 Ennistymon, 3 points for the men from Naomh. Cormac, looking at the clock, we're coming up on 19 minutes gone here in the opening half. The ball has just broken down again in between the two 65-metre lines, and our referee from Os Ungolov, Brian Keown, getting the game back underway again. And once again it's this man Colin Spain driving the ball down along here right in front of us. We're no more than 20 yards away from the action at the minute as we watch that ball breaking up inside. Wynn goes in trying to pick it up. Big strong unit this fella gets it out towards Cotter. You can see him, he's going with the hand, he saw that it was thrown. It's been a talking point, Peter. What's your thoughts on all this hand pass furore?
Yeah, well, it's really been highlighted at the moment, and it's just so difficult to police. You know, it's so difficult. I think there really is an onus on the referee to know that there was a thrown ball, and I don't know. I thought that was maybe a little bit harsh, but so it's done now. A fantastic free by Daniel Hand, yeah.
Daniel Hand with a wonderful score. We were right behind it as it curled from right to left, straight between the posts. The hand pass controversy has gone on so long. People like Peter Casey might even get a song out of it. He has got songs out of plenty other topics as well. As we watch now, Daniel Hand looking up and playing that ball into the corner. That's a lovely angle ball across for Alex Kavanagh to run onto. The ball just holding up in the wind. He's right no more than 2 or 3 paces into the far stand sideline, getting turned around by O'Loughlin, getting isolated, getting held up, and ultimately getting turned over. He's a tough customer, that O'Loughlin.
That's great defending there by Mark O'Loughlin. Fantastic. It was a ball out to the corner, out to Alex Kavanagh, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Kavanagh got it. You'd have fancied him probably to take on his man in the corner, but Mark O'Loughlin stood up to him. He's a great defender.
Fabulous, absolutely. Textbook coaching. Micheál Duffy will have noted that one in his book, I'd say, to show some of his coaching courses over the next couple of weeks as we watch that ball has been turned over now again. The last couple of balls into the Ennistymon CBS full forward line just not sticking at the minute, but they'll keep going around that middle third, and that's where all the work is being done at the minute. Again, that long angle ball across in towards Rinn, trying to break it down, but the spare man back, Peter's having an influence.
Yeah, the number 9 there is sitting in front of Sean Rinn and his man, so it's a 3v2 situation there all the time, and in this time we are just starting able to get really good ball into Sean Rinn. Shane Woods there won a good ball in midfield again. He's having a big influence, but a big free up the field now again.
And in fairness, the Ennistymon CBS at the other side of the field are holding up well, so it is becoming that battle between the two 65-metre lines at the minute to see which team can get the more space created inside. As we look back, you can see your man just sitting here on the 45-metre line, just guarding in front of him because there's a fair dangerous combination inside. And we'll stay with the play up the other end of the field as that line ball is taken and cut right the way across, and the breaking ball, who's going to be first to it? It's the Ennistymon CBS man. There was a loose class of a hurley across the chest there. Was it of Shane Woods or
Ricky Wynn?
Or Wynn, yeah, Wynn, the other man with the blue helmet back there in the half back line. So it's going to be a chance. Referee having a little bit of a chat with Daniel Hand. I don't think he has sent him a card just yet, but he has certainly noted the number. Shane Woods take the free at his own 65-metre line. But looking at the yellow card was indeed flashed. He was surprised it hadn't, but he was just doing all his administrative work before he did just that. And Shane Woods will take the free. This time he goes to the left-hand side, this near stand side, then up they go for it. The big hand goes up there from Sean Rinn, just went over the top of his fingers, and it's Charlie Bracken, the captain, who's back there to try and clear his lines. Does well, gets it out to his full-back James Mahan, just working it through the lines. Nice patient play on this occasion. The ball is just overshot and he gets a chance on the far side of the field for McDarrell O'Keefe to try and turn that ball over. Does well to hold on to it, tries to sell the dummy, tries to get a little bit of space, and now he plays in Cullen from the number 7 jersey. He puts that straight between the posts. Again, a score, Peter, made out of work rate. Looks like a lost cause for McDarrell O'Keefe on the far side of the field. Did well to recycle possession, the cool head to find James Conlon, and a fine finish from Yannick in the morning.
A great score, badly needed, probably their first score in 10 minutes. Derek, it's gone a little bit scrappy there for a while. McDarrell O'Keefe did very, very well. Won the ball. He said it was kind of a lost cause. Kept after it, kept chasing it, got the ball back to James Cullen, and it was a great strike. So in this time they're 3 points up again, and they're going to need a big 5 or 6 minutes now from now to half time,
1-4 to 4 points is the scoreboard, 23 minutes is the clock, and it's the Michael Cusick Cup, the All-Ireland Senior C hurling title that's on the line. Of course, on St. Patrick's Day we saw Fine Clare contingent winning the Croke Cup with Ard Skull Reach, Cormac O'Donovan and Paul Flanagan, of course, top of that Ireland team. Let's stay with it here for the minute. Let's inside towards Cavan. That's a fine score for the Naomh Cormac players. The game is tied up, 23.5 minutes gone. Broke in from that far stand sideline, created the overlap, Peter, and the man that we've mentioned plenty in the opening stages, Kavanagh, close to goal. He was never going to miss.
No, it was a fantastic run by Adam Sweeney. He's an absolute rocket running, and gave the ball into Alex Kavanagh, and Alex Kavanagh got the goal. Probably no more than Kilcormac deserve. They've done very well, especially since the Ennistymon goal, and they're in a real battle here now. 1-4 apiece. With the wind at their back, you'd be saying at the moment it's probably advantage to Kilcormac.
And they're trying to take that advantage to the next level, as there was a lovely ball played inside there towards Robert Boland, but it was well defended by the Ennistymon men. Now it's all about how they respond up to half time. 5.5 plus additional time to go until that break comes. Long ball into the corner. Surely there was the heels tipped there of Sean Wren, and that's exactly what has happened. Referee right on the spot, he was there to see it. It'll be a free in for the Ennistymon men, just maybe 40 or so yards out from the post, left hand side, maybe 20 yards to the left hand side of the post. It'll be Joshua Goyler that's going to take it. Referee is having a chat with one of the Naomh Cormac men. It's their captain, James Mahan. He goes into the book. The referee is being discouraged, shall we say, by the Offaly crowd here. Harsh enough yellow card, in fairness. I thought it was just a tangle of feet as two fellas came out for the ball, but we'll just watch. Joshua Goyler taking this free. Needs to be a big response from the Ennistymon men. And that ball is crept inside the left hand upright. Good score from them. And as we mentioned, Peter, the points after the goal, it takes a small bit of harm out of it as it becomes Ennistymon back into the lead again.
Yeah, very important to get that scored. Joshua Vaughan won a very good ball off his man there, played in the ball into Sean Wren. Just as Sean was run out, his heels got clipped by the full back. It looked maybe accidental, but it was still a foul, and Josh got the free afterwards, and it was important for him to score that one after he missed the previous one. So he's three points got now, 1 from play and 2 from frees, and now it's another score it's another free here for Kilcormac again. The wind is funny, Derek. It seems to be changing a little bit, maybe gusting at times, and then dropping a bit now again. And it seems to have dropped at the moment.
It certainly has, but the challenge hasn't dropped from the Naomh Cormac men in particular. That man Alex Kavanagh, he's in possession of the ball on the far side of the field, turning and jinking around, trying to get away from O'Loughlin. Not an easy thing to do. He gives the brick flick inside to Screeny. This man can take a shot at the post as well. A lovely TJ Reid-like strike as he gets over the bar. Fine score, and you can see that kind of left hand on top influence, Peter. He's got a great strike as he ties it up 1-5 apiece.
Yeah, he's a real danger man. Adam Screeny, he's thundered into the match during the last 5 minutes. He's very fast, good striker of all. You'd say he looks like TJ Reid, left-handed top strikes of his left side, and Ennistymon are going to have to tighten up on him a lot.
1-5 apiece, 26.5 on the clock. The Falls Hotel and Spa and Ennistymon are Coventry sponsors. Long ball down onto the 45 metre line, battling away for it there. James Conlon on his hands as he gets that ball away, tries to get the hand pass across here now towards Josh Vaughan. Does well to turn inside, but carrying it into traffic, has to get Keith Barry back outside. He snaps it on the 45. That one's going to drop short, and it's going to drop to the right hand side and wide. Just the option taking just a little bit rushed on that occasion. In fairness, maybe he thought there was someone lurking around inside, but just you get the feeling now, Peter, 3 minutes plus additional time. We'll call it 5 to the half-time break. Important in this time to finish strong.
Important to finish strong, yeah. They could do with 2 or 3 points anyway, you think. A great block here in front of us. That middle third battle again, we can see it. Just some of the passes that this time were given to each other aren't sticking, and it's a small thing that have turned the performance around.
Ball goes right into that top of the right position. Goyler are battling away over for it. A good battle going on indeed. As we watch the Ennistymon management here in front of us, Tara Wren has gone from one side of the field to the other, just arms folded, just waiting to see what will be the options that she can do just to change this up a little bit. 1-5 apiece as it stands. 28 minutes gone here in the opening half as the ball again on the far side of the field. Those rucks are just starting to be won by the Naomh Cormac men. On that occasion, just went out over the sideline, and the linesman over was right on the spot. Had the whistle or the flag up, referee blew the whistle. It'll be a line ball for Naomh Cormac, and this is what they'll want, Peter, just to slow things down, get in and get that breeze at their back.
It's a free for them actually. So it's balls up in the danger man now again to Adam Screeney. He has it, turns off his left side again.
Lovely control to take that ball down, dropping it high in towards the post, but again underneath the Kieran Daniels, fine and composed inside and gets this ball clear. Cotton is the man that takes it. Right down here in front of us is the man wearing the number 10 jersey, Josh Vaughan. But again, you can see that the pressure being put on. A 2-on-1 situation. The ball almost immediately. And he turned that over, and we spoke about that work rate, Peter. As we said, there's no more than 5 or 6 yards here in front of us. As soon as Vaughan got that ball, 2 Naomh Cormac men descended on him, and he was always going to get stood up.
Yeah, they're tackling this ferocious. They're giving no time the ball to Ennistymon, and I suppose, Derek, what you'd say is the last couple of games in Ennistymon played, they probably got it that bit easy. Players stood after them. The match that we played down the AstroTurf pitch in UL, the Munster final against Ballingarry, was probably over after 15-20 minutes, which they were in a real match here, and there's no time on the ball. The passing just has to improve a little bit, the touch has to improve a little bit, and probably just have to speed up their play small bit as well. Daniel Hand missed that last free, and you could see, as Peter mentioned about the breeze, he almost gave it too much correction to the right hand side, expected the breeze to bring it in. The wind wasn't there, it stayed outright and it went wide. It remains 1-5 apiece, as the clock will tell us 30 seconds of normal time plus whatever injury time will be added on. We can always get somewhere around 2 or 3 minutes, and that's a fairly good starting point. Mark Cannon has the ball in the Ennistymon CBS defence, but once again he's blocked down and does very well indeed to win it back at the second time of asking. Shane Woods takes it on now to the 45. Looks to play it across here towards Vaughan, but didn't give him much of a chance to win that one. In comes Cotter, took a fine old wallop to the shin there, but the ball is broken away towards Shane Woods. He takes a hit after taking that ball too. Sliler stood and just tried to turn in the same motion, but he was met there with a big tackle from Charlie Bracken, who breaks the clear for Patrick Carroll, the odd man out in this 15-man or 14-man Kilcormac team as it is. He's from the Drumcullen club in Offaly. It's Ennistymon CBS on the ball once more again. They're just trying to finish this first half of the floor. Fine and pass inside towards Red. Ball just wouldn't come to him. Now it does it the second time of asking. Swinging over the shoulder, but once again it just goes out to the right hand side and wide. And we can see Keith Barry just putting his hands up his head there as the ball went all the way across. Just these last 7 or 8 minutes in particular, Peter, things just not going their way. Not going their way. The passes that would stick every other day fall out of the hand. First ball that came Sean Rinn there, he dropped it, he'd to go again. By the time he collected it again, his man was up to him. Shane Woods is running through the middle here at the moment, wins a free. First cousin of Kevin Heher, and a real strong man. This is a great free to win. Ennistymon really needed to win this, and hopefully Josh is able to get the score here to put them a point up.
Fine direct running as it was, and we'll wait and see. We've got to keep an eye on some of the racing action as well, because after his brilliant victory in Cheltenham yesterday evening, Mark McDonough from Cratloe was back in action today, and we're going to try and see. He was running in that Midlands National out in Utoxeter of all places, and would you believe he came second in that one as well, aboard Young Dev for Dennis Hogan, the trainer there, beating who was in third there, Time to Get Up, John Joe O'Neill and John Joe Jr. They were wearing the favourites tag. So second spot for young Mark McDonough. We had him on sideline view the week before Cheltenham, and he was indeed looking forward to it as well. Fantastic win for him, and it's apt, Peter, I suppose, that a man from Clare would ride a horse called Young Dev.
It is apt, alright. And Niall Gilligan was leading up the horse after the race yesterday evening, so I wonder, did Gilly get to Utoxeter as well today? He could turn up anywhere.
He could turn up just about anywhere, is right. Let's hope this little will turn up between the posts for Joshua Doyler. It certainly does, and it could be the last action of the first half, as Ennistymon will head for the dressing rooms. 1 point for the good, 1-6 to 1-5 as it is. An entertaining opening half, but important, Peter, psychologically as much as anything, to go in ahead.
Yeah, it's been a very, very entertaining half of hurling. Tough, hard hurling. Typical Clare Offaly affair, that we all remember fondly from the 90s. Ennistymon are a point up, haven't played against the breeze, or with the breeze. They're going to be facing the breeze in the second half. But the way they hurl, maybe playing against the breeze often suits it, because they use the ball very, very well. They carry it through the lines, and overall they'll be pretty happy. It's 1-6 to 1-5, so it's a much lower scoring game than what they've been used to. They've been putting up over 20 points in some of their games recently. It's a different game, but it's an All-Ireland final. I suppose these games are when you're in the Ireland final, you're going to be playing against a good opposition as well, and Cormac are really good opposition. You know,
they're showing that, but as we said, thankfully from the CBS point of view, 30 minutes down, and they're a point to the good. It's 1-6 to 1-5 here in Toomevara. That's how it stands. Join us again very shortly indeed. Second half commentary on the way. Great hands from the Ennistymon, swinging it over the left shoulder, pumping the fist as he does and putting it straight between the poles. A fine score, made of simplicity, a big ball into the big man Peter who did.
So they'll be happy, and here is Josh Guyler instead of the first free.
Left hand side of the post, no more than 25 or so yards out, makes light of the striking off the left hand side. A fine score from Cormac to get him off the board here in Toomevara. 2 points to 1, 8 minutes gone. The first time we've seen this man wearing 14. Plenty of it here in these opening 10 minutes in Toomevara. It's Ennistymon and CBS leading by 2 points to 1. That could be about to change. Here comes Mullins bearing down a goal bullet. Fantastic!
It will remind you of Conor McGrath's goal in the Ireland Final in 2013. Carried it through, struck from around that distance as well. But what a brilliant shot. And now we have Josh Guyler with another score.
And it's gone in this opening half. Puck out for Kieran Daniels, dropping it long down towards the 65-metre line. Up goes the hand of Shane Woods, but it breaks down in front of him. It's the full forward Daniel.
Again, there was half a goal chance, and it's going to be, I'd say, a score for Kilcormac, for Naomh Cormac, and now we've only a goal in it. I think there really is an onus on the referee to know that there was a throwing ball, and I don't know, I thought that was maybe a little bit harsh, but so it's
far side of the field. Darrell Keith to try and turn that ball over, does well to hold on to it, tries to sell the dummy, tries to get the little bit of space, and now he plays in Cullen from the number 7 jersey. Skull Reach, Cormac O'Donovan and Paul Flanagan across top of the team. Let's stay with it here for the minute. That's the score inside towards Cavan. If you had a card, in fairness, I thought it was just a tangle of feet as 2 fellas came out for the ball, but we'll just watch Joshua Guyler taking this free. Needs to be a big response from the Ennistymon men, and that ball is far side of the field, turning and jinking around, trying to get away from a lock. Not an easy thing to do. He gives the brick flick inside to Screeny. This man can take a shot at the post as well. A lovely TJ Reid.
I wonder, did Gilly get to Uthoxter as well today? He could turn up anywhere.
He could turn up just about anywhere, is right. Let's hope this Slither will turn up between the posts for Joshua Guyler. Great hands from the Ennistymon, swinging it over the left shoulder, pumping the fist as he does and putting it straight between the poles. A fine score, made of simplicity, a big ball into the big man Peter who did.
So they'll be happy, and here is Josh Guyler instead of the first free.
Left hand side of the post, no more than 25 or so yards out, makes light of the striking off the left hand side. A fine score from Cormac to get him off the board here in Toomevara. 2 points to 1, 8 minutes gone. The first time we've seen this man wearing 14. Plenty of it here in these opening 10 minutes in Toomevara. It's Ennistymon and CBS leading by 2 points to 1. That could be about to change. Here comes Mullins bearing down a goal bullet. Fantastic!
It will remind you of Conor McGrath's goal in the Ireland Final in 2013. Carried it through, struck from around that distance as well. But what a brilliant shot. And now we have Josh Guyler with another score.
And it's gone in this opening half. Puck out for Kieran Daniels, dropping it long down towards the 65-metre line. Up goes the hand of Shane Woods, but it breaks down in front of him. It's the full forward Daniel.
Again, there was half a goal chance, and it's going to be, I'd say, a score for Kilcormac, for Naomh Cormac, and now we've only a goal in it. I think there really is an onus on the referee to know that there was a throwing ball, and I don't know, I thought that was maybe a little bit harsh, but so it's
far side of the field. Darrell Keith to try and turn that ball over, does well to hold on to it, tries to sell the dummy, tries to get the little bit of space, and now he plays in Cullen from the number 7 jersey. Skull Reach, Cormac O'Donovan and Paul Flanagan across top of the team. Let's stay with it here for the minute. That's the score inside towards Cavan. If you had a card, in fairness, I thought it was just a tangle of feet as 2 fellas came out for the ball, but we'll just watch Joshua Guyler taking this free. Needs to be a big response from the Ennistymon men, and that ball is far side of the field, turning and jinking around, trying to get away from a lock. Not an easy thing to do. He gives the brick flick inside to Screeny. This man can take a shot at the post as well. A lovely TJ Reid.
I wonder, did Gilly get to Uthoxter as well today? He could turn up anywhere.
He could turn up just about anywhere, is right. Let's hope this Slither will turn up between the posts for Joshua Doyle. It hands from the Ennistymon man, swinging it over the left shoulder, pumping the fist as he does and putting it straight between the poles. A fine score, made of simplicity, a big ball into the big man Peter who did.
So they'll be happy, and here is Josh Guyler instead of the first free.
Left hand side of the post, no more than 25 or so yards out, makes light of striking off the left hand side. A fine score from Cormac to get him off the board here in Toomevara. 2 points to 1, 8 minutes gone. The first time we've seen this man wearing 14. Plenty of it here in these opening 10 minutes in Toomevara. It's Ennistymon and CBS leading by 2 points to 1. That could be about to change. Here comes Mullins bearing down a goal bullet. Fantastic!
It will remind you of Conor McGrath's goal in the All-Ireland Final in 2013. Carried it through, struck from around that distance as well. But what a brilliant shot. And now we have Josh Guyler with another score.
And it's gone in this opening half. Puck out for Kieran Daniels, dropping it long down towards the 65-metre line. Up towards the hand of Shane Woods, but it breaks down in front of him. It's the full forward Daniel.
Again, there was half a goal chance, and it's going to be, I'd say, a score for Kilcormac, for Naomh Cormac, and now we're going to go in. I think there really is an onus on the referee to know that there was a thrown ball, and I don't know, I thought that was maybe a little bit harsh, but so it's
far side of the field from Darragh O'Keefe to try and turn that ball over. Does well to hold on to it, tries to sell the dummy, tries to get the little bit of space, and now he plays in Cullen from the number 7 jersey. Skull Reach, Cormac O'Donovan and Paul Flanagan across top of that management team. Let's stay with it here for the minute. Let's inside towards Cavan. If you had a card, in fairness, I thought it was just a tangle of feet as two fellas came out for the ball, but we'll just watch Joshua Guyler taking this free. Needs to be a big response from the Ennistymon men, and that ball is far side of the field, turning and jinking around, trying to get away from O'Loughlin. Not an easy thing to do. He gives the brick flick inside to Screeny. This man can take a shot at the post as well. A lovely TJ Reid.
I wonder, did Gilly get to Huxter as well today? He could turn up anywhere.
He could turn up just about anywhere, is right. Let's hope this little will turn up between the posts for Joshua Doyle. It hands from the Ennistymon man, swinging it over the left shoulder, pumping the fist as he does and putting it straight between the poles. A fine score, made of simplicity, a big ball into the big man Peter who did.
So they'll be happy, and here is Josh Guyler instead of the first free.
Left hand side of the post, no more than 25 or so yards out, makes light of striking off the left hand side. A fine score from Cormac to get him off the board here in Toomevara. 2 points to 1, 8 minutes gone. The first time we've seen this man wearing 14. Plenty of it here in these opening 10 minutes in Toomevara. It's Ennistymon and CBS leading by 2 points to 1. That could be about to change. Here comes Mullins bearing down a goal bullet. Fantastic!
It will remind you of Conor McGrath's goal in the All-Ireland Final in 2013. Carried it through, struck from around that distance as well. But what a brilliant shot. And now we have Josh Guyler with another score.
And it's gone in this opening half. Puck out for Kieran Daniels, dropping it long down towards the 65-metre line. Up towards the hand of Shane Woods, but it breaks down in front of him. It's the full forward Daniel.
Again, there was half a goal chance, and it's going to be, I'd say, a score for Kilcormac, for Naomh Cormac, and now we're going to go in. I think down, yes.
When does the rugby match start? 4:30, is it?
The rugby.
Welcome back to Toomevara here in North Tipperary for the All-Ireland Senior C Post-Primary Schools Hurling Final, and it is Ennistymon and CBS leading Naomh Cormac of Offaly by 1-6 to 1-5, with the second half just about to get back underway here. Peter Casey, you went off rambling at half-time as we welcome back our on-air listeners as well. You were saying the wind, very much a tricky one to judge.
Tricky one to judge, it could be blowing more across the field maybe than straight down the it's certainly not going straight down the field anyway. Swirling a little bit. It's very strong now at the moment, and a free here for Liam Cotter. Caught around the neck, could be a yellow card, Derek, I'd say.
Yeah, Liam Cotter is down not for the first time this week. As we mentioned, a man that loves playing right on the edge, putting his heart and soul into it as well, and he's been attended to over there by his manager Tara Rinn. Thankfully the man wearing the number 5 jersey back up onto his feet to remind people of that half-time score here in Toomevara. Ennistymon 1 goal and 6. Naomh Cormac mostly made up, as we mentioned, from the Kilcormac Cloughy club. That goal from Niall Mullins, a fantastic score for them, but equally answered in by the man wearing the number 13 jersey, Alex Kavanagh, for the Naomh Cormac men. A fine game of hurling it is between two very, very good teams. Let's see, can we get off the perfect start for the second half here for Ennistymon, as Guyler puts this ball right back into the pocket. Coming on to it there is Jamie Wynn. It's going to tail all the way across. Keepers inside underneath it. We've seen a bit of this in the first half with the ball dropping short. It's not going to drop exactly where you might think it's going to, but in fairness to Harry Sweeney, the netminder for Naomh Cormac, does very well indeed to come onto that ball and try and clear his lines. A fine cool customer inside of the goals. Now working it short across here towards Colin Spain. Fine turn of foot on this fella as he comes up towards the 65-metre lines. Drops it short, goes direct towards the edge of the square. Sweeney almost had it. Well marshalled he was outside there by Mark O'Loughlin. They're having a right old battle, but you can see what they're going to try and do, Peter, in the second half, get it into him early.
Yeah, they've pulled some of their forwards out. Colin Spain got the ball. It was a high ball. It went over Mark O'Loughlin's head. Alex Kavanagh thought he had it in his hand, but it just trickled wide under pressure from Mark O'Loughlin, and the ball's been poked out again. Great take here in the middle of the field by Keith Berry.
Keith Berry does very well indeed to get that ball away, but it just comes to the ground. It won't come to hand straight away for them, but working back there is Daniel Hand now, going along that far stand sideline, looks up and again looks to play that angle ball across, but that's great defending outside there by Ricky Wynn. Takes the ball on the hurley, works a little 1-2, and now he bursts forward up towards the 65-metre line, driving forward still is the man from Ennistymon. Now he's on the 45-metre line, swallowed up by a whole host of Naomh Cormac players and needs the support to come back there. The ruck has developed again around that 45-metre line as we look back to the field and see Ennistymon now have dropped that man back, and I think Wynn is going to be the spare man back there to try and mop up the danger as the ball is going to drop in over the head. That's wonderful control by Adam Sweeney. Has a shot at the very, very talented young fella. No doubt Michael Zygden and Mick Finlay and all them will be hoping he continues this form. Adam Screeney with a lovely score, Peter. The way he shimmied thinking it was going over his head, put off the defender, controlled it on the hurley and finished with style.
Yeah, fantastic score by Adam Screeney. He's a really good hurler. They have a lot of left-handed hurlers in the team. He's been marked there by Mark Callan, who's a very good, really good defender, has done well all year. Probably as good a defender as what Ennistymon have back there. And but he's winning the battle at the moment.
1-6 apiece is how it stands. 3 minutes gone here in the second half. The Falls Hotel and Spa, our commentary sponsors this afternoon, and I'm just looking across the Naomh Cormac mentor has been shown a yellow card, would you believe, and it was his own team that won the free, and that free has been dropped right in into the danger zone, in towards Screeney. Gets that ball up onto the hurley, very tricky customer, in along the inline he comes, big danger here, ball across the square, batted back to where it came, still not cleared on the 21, hits off the post and it drops right down onto the line, and it's Ennistymon CBS coming away, the Cotter's back there trying to get that ball clear. The ruck develops on the 21. It's all been helter-skelter, no real danger coming as of yet as to get that ball away out towards Jamie Wynn, working back on his own 21-metre line. Big moment of danger there, but thankfully from an Ennistymon CBS point of view they have survived and the ball is coming clear. McDarragh O'Keefe looks up, plays an angled ball into the corner. Rinn tries to get the hand down, look, and he repeats the trick. The defender loses the hurley, Rinn decides he's going to try and bulldoze right out throwing. Referee says that he was held up with a charge. I thought he invited it, in fairness. That was intelligent defending, shall we say. But going back to this chance here, Peter, again, that man Screeney, once he ducked the head inside the cover, a real live wire.
Some passage of play there, went from one end of the field to the other, and I know how the ball set out. And Ennistymon really can thank their lucky stars that didn't win. Screeney's deadly. If he gets the ball in his hand, he has speed to burn, and they've isolated him and Alex Kavanagh inside at the moment. Ricky Wynn is sitting in front of them a little bit, and he's going to have to focus on probably on defending more so than going forward. But Sean Rinn did excellent. Inside there, 2 men on him, won the free, and we have a free to Ennistymon, and we're back.
They go back out into the lead yet with Joshua Tyler from a very, very tight angle, put that ball between the posts, and it's once again Ennistymon and CBS just edging in front. 1-7 to 1-6, 5 minutes gone second half. That could be about to change straight away. Screeney again putting the ball in towards Kavanagh, but in fairness to Daniels, did very well indeed, came out, commanded his square and made sure that ball was broken up and there was no clean possession won. And now down along that far stand sideline goes Keith Barry. Ball goes back to the ground again. If we're looking for another local link, the man that led Smith O'Brien's to that intermediate title last year, Mr. Gleeson, is on the far side of the field, would you believe, coaching Naomh Cormac as well. Tony doing a fabulous job with Smith O'Brien's last year, who are back up senior hurling for 2022. Ball goes back to the ground again, trying to recycle it. Good work rate outside around that Ennistymon half back line, just setting up that line, not letting them through. Referee says you've overcarried. The man went to the ground. You'd swear there was a sniper above near Alan Foley on the camera, and the minute the free was given, Screeney was back up onto his feet again. Good stout defending now.
Good, great defending by Ennistymon CBS. Fantastic defending. And Cormac, I suppose, expected a free, but they didn't get it because there wasn't a foul there, And fair play to the referee. He was standing by. He was watching exactly what happened, and he felt that the player held on to the ball too long, and now he's after giving a free to Ennistymon.
And he's going to have a little chat as well, I think, with one of the Naomh Cormac lads for maybe protesting too much, to kind of paraphrase Shakespeare there maybe. And the yellow card is flashed in the direction of Richard Bracken. He is the third, if I'm not mistaken, Naomh Cormac man to enter the referee's book, as we can feel the wind just picking up a little bit now as it whistles in around the stand here. The ball though whistling down into the number 14 there, Sean Wren from Ennistymon, striking off the left side. This would be a mighty score if he can land it. With absolute economy of effort over the crossbar. Ennistymon go back out into a 2-point lead, 1-8 to 1-6. Fine score.
Brilliant score. Trademark Sean Wren point there. Off his left, he can score off left and right, out by the sideline. Angles didn't matter to him, the wind didn't matter to him. The ball sailed straight over the bar.
Oisin Kilmartin looking to respond straight away from Naomh Cormac, playing it up along that far sideline. Again, that angle ball right into the danger zone, in towards Screeney, but he's being well marshalled back there. Richard Bracken trying to pick that ball up too, just coming clear. Screeney is the man though, almost hockey style, getting it clear. Still the advantage goes forward, another shot coming in, and that's a brilliant goal. It's Richard Bracken that got it. He finished it, but the referee has brought it back. Oh, that's a sickener from a Naomh Cormac point of view. The referee is scratching the back of his head. He had called for the free. That has to be so frustrating, because if an advantage isn't a goal, Peter, we've praised the referee enough in fairness to him. From an Ennistymon point of view, we'll praise him for doing that, but that has to be frustrating.
Yeah, it was a harsh call on Kilcormac, and it's another lucky break for Ennistymon, but some days your luck is in Derek, and maybe that's the break that we need. It's a point now instead of a goal. Ennistymon still a point up. Tough call, but I suppose the advantage rule is for 5 seconds, and maybe the referee felt that the 5 seconds had elapsed maybe as well. That might be the only thing in his defence.
Of course, defenders will say as well they heard the whistle and they just stopped. So you'll use every bit of cuteness that you can as well. Keith Barry right here in front of us. He went right out over the sideline. In fairness, the linesman was right on top of it here as we watch Colin Spain right here in front of us. And well, as you mentioned, the pitch here in Toomevara in good old Nick, but just along this sideline here in front of the stand, just not a whole pile of grass for your man to get the line ball away, and he just topped it a little bit there as it goes right in towards the 45 metre line. Good work outside by Cotter to try and turn that over, but the referee again had the hand straight up. Good old battle going on between Cotter and Daniel Hand on that occasion. Good response though from the Kilcormac men. They have a chance now to level it up once more. Ennistymon led by 2 just a couple of minutes ago, Peter. It'll be level, I'd imagine, here in just a couple of minutes time. But what a game it is. If you're a neutral person that just decided that you heard around the Toomevara region that there was a game of hurling on today, your fiver was well spent.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good contest. It's end to end. The ball goes into one end of the field, and there's really good contests. Liam Cotter fouled his man there that time, and they've scored. Sean Wren got a fantastic score the time before. I suppose you'd say the Kilcormacs probably still have more of the ball at the moment. Looked that bit more dangerous as well. They have serious speed in their forwards. But Ennistymon are battling gamefully. They're a point up at the moment, well, and they won't fall down too easily. The longer this game goes on, and the longer the Ennistymon are staying maybe that point ahead or staying level with them, you'd still fancy them because they've got great experience in their team, Derry.
And they won't shy away from the battle either as we watch that free going in and talk about your luck being in. It deserted Adam Screeney on that occasion for the first time this afternoon. Ennistymon stay ahead 1-8 to 1-7. Looking at the clock, we're coming up on 10 minutes gone here in this second half. The Falls Hotel and Spa in Ennistymon, our commentary sponsors, how they would dearly love to be showing off the Michael Cusick Cup around the Cascades this evening. 20 minutes plus additional time to go before that can happen. They hold the lead by the minimum and they hold the advantage of the possession as well, as the foul was committed on the far side of the field. Tony Gleeson is there with the hoodie and the shorts on and the cap as well, hoping to guide Naomh Cormac to the same success as we mentioned that he brought to Smith O'Brien's. We hope from a clear point of view this evening that he doesn't do just that, as we watch Joshua Guyler coming out now to take this free. He'll be standing just between the 65 and 45, right in front of the Naomh Cormac substitute bench over on that far side of the field. Let's see what he can do with this one as he picks that. The strike, the lift look good, the strike looks good. It's dropping in towards the danger zone. Up goes the Hurleys, breaking down. Someone needs to whip on this inside around the square. Remember Eamon Taff on this occasion though, it just couldn't get it up. McDarrow O'Keefe has the back instead, turns onto his left hand side and slides it over the bar. That's a fabulous score, an opportunistic score as it was from McDarrow, who stood back and waited for the break to come. Peter, we've mentioned the breeze several times. My God, he used that to perfection.
McDarrow, beautiful score. If his left side though wouldn't be his favourite side. Picked it up, stuck it over the bar. He's the father of Niall, club chairman of Ennistymon Hurling Club, and McDarrow's really turned her into the game now. Here we go again.
They'll be well pleased with that one. Let's see, can they hammer the hammer now as the ball goes right the way across towards Guyler? Can he control this? No, that's fabulous defending. This game is really coming to life. 1-9 to 1-7 here in Tumivara. 11 minutes gone, second half. It's Ennistymon, CBS in front. Screeney, the danger man for Naomh Cormac, stands up, strikes off the left hand side and sends over a quality goal. It's back to a 1 point game. No matter where you're listening or watching to this one, don't go anywhere. The rugby can wait because there's a lot of hurling left in this one.
Yeah, great score by Screeney again. Reminds me of Jack O'Connor from Cork, the young fellow who broke on the scene last year. Feet, he can jink left and right. He's got savage agility. Brilliant striker of the ball, and there's a great battle between himself and Callan won the free this time.
And there was a fabulous take outside there by Mark Mulrooney as well, the cornerback for Naomh Cormac. Not the first time we've seen him doing that either, but what you'd love to see a defender doing, Peter, maybe it's a coach's nightmare in case you miss it, but the way that they're thundering onto the ball, like it's not a case of stand and catch it and then go. These lads are winning the ball on the move and creating those overlaps.
Well, you know, when you come up against good hurlers like these Kilcormac players, if they get the ball in their hand, they've got a huge advantage. So it's probably Mark Callan's only way of defending is trying to get out in front.
Yeah, but even from the other side, we've seen several of the Kilcormac lads doing just that. We've seen Sean Wynn put over some brilliant points in this game. Can he add to that one? No, it just drops to the left hand side and wide. It remains 1-9 to 1-8. It's Ennistymon, CBS leading, as you mentioned, the four clubs involved in this: Kilmary, Corrafin, Kilnamona, and of course the Ennistymon Hurling Club as well, making huge strides up in North Clare as well. Making huge strides at the moment is Richard Bracken up along this near stand sideline, turning back into traffic, trying to lay the ball off, but he's gathered up by a whole cluster of green jerseys back there. The latest one to have it at the minute is McDarrow O'Keefe, half blocked down as he tries to get that ball clear. It's Colin Spain coming onto it. It goes out over the sideline. It'll be a line ball for Ennistymon. I suppose we haven't mentioned enough, Peter, maybe in our commentary, but what this would mean for hurling in the North Clare region. We know Kilnamona what they've done down the years, but for the likes of the Ennistymon lads that are trying to build their profile up there as well, and just for the whole area in general, it would be just so huge.
Absolutely massive, you know. There's a huge amount of work being done in the Ennistymon Hurling Club at the moment. I've a bit of involvement myself, and these lads have come through a very good coaching programme, which, you know, but in primary schools, there's two lads out here in front of us, Liam Cotter and Josh Vaughan, went to Ferglen National School. There's Brian Mack and Mark Kelleher and the subs as well, all came out of that school. Patricia Vaughan is the principal in the school, and she'll be a huge hurling fan, you know, and a huge supporter. McDarrow O'Keefe went to the Mulnoiga primary school in Ennistymon as well, and they've all been involved in the club. We've guys like Fraser Brown and Michael Organ have done massive work in the club for the last few years, and I suppose we're trying to emulate Cathal Malone. We'd be very proud of Cathal Malone, but he's playing his stuff hurling away from Ennistymon at the moment, and he's having great success. But we'd be hoping that he does come back at some stage, and it'd be brilliant if he'd be joined by these lads who are out in the field at the moment.
The goal is to try and stay in front, but Naomh Cormac have pulled it back through that free just in front of us here from Adam Screeney. It's 1-9 apiece. We're exactly midway through the second half. What a titanic conclusion that we're going to have in this game. It's 4:30 on St. Patrick's weekend here in North Tipperary in Toomevara, and it's level pegging on the board, 1-9 apiece, and it's the ball now is the most prized possession outside there. It's the Naomh Cormac men that have it, but there's 3 men chasing after Colin Spain and trying to turn him over. 3 men in green jerseys, we should tell you, as the ball is right here in front of us. If we stuck out our leg long enough, we'd nearly be able to kick it. We're that close to the sideline, and it'll be Niall Mullins that's going to take this line ball. Takes it well, gets a good push underneath, that puts it into the danger zone, but he was just told that he wasn't to do that. He chanced it anyway, but the referee is going to bring the play back. Mullins will have this line ball that just hits off the fence here in front of us. He probably picked that up on the microphone, and Keith Barry is going to take this green jersey, green helmet and a blue grip on his hurley as he tries to kick the divot. They tell us they're not supposed to do that, as he puts that micro gloved left hand down, just putting it up. By jizz, there's a fair mound under that. I'd be watching the goalpost for this one if I was taking the go. He gets a fair old connection on it, and there's no surprise in towards Guyler. It goes to the top of the right position, just trying to get that ball before it goes out to the sideline. Just all a bit scrappy at the minute. 1-9 apiece. Looking at the clock, 16 minutes gone. Falls Hotel and Star, our commentary sponsors, at the ball is still there. She won. They've Cormac will turn that over, and those 50-50 calls, people, in these closing minutes now are going to become even more important.
Yeah, frees, mistakes, all little things like that. It comes down to small margins now at this stage. Like, everything's been so well contested. Like, every single ball, nothing. There's no room out there in the field at all. Nobody's getting any chance to take a second touch or anything like that either. You get the ball in your hand first time or it's gone. Here's Liam Cotter thundering up the field.
Thundering up the field with the ball on the hurley and striking it into the direction outside there. Sean Ring, can he control it before the sideline? He does. Turning inside, got Walker's left a couple of moments ago. Pings the ball across, looking for Niall Mullins, but Breckin Kavanagh, the number 9 for Naomh Cormac, read that one like a book, and now he busts forward, plays that ball off. Nice little 1-2 developing here on the 45-metre line. Kavanagh with the strike, and he's gone over the bar. That's a fine score once again for the men from Naomh Cormac. They go back out into the lead. It's 1-10 to 1-9, 17 minutes gone, second half.
Yeah, it's a key moment now in the time we probably need the next score. You know, it's just a mistake by Sean Wynn. Saw Keith Barry coming through the middle, over hit the pass. The ball went down the other side of the field, and it was a score. The point was probably on for Sean Wynn at the time. Maybe he probably should have taken it, you know, because scores are hard to come by right now. But in this time they're using the ball very well now again.
Niall Mullins trying to find his clubmate on the far side of the field, does well to find that pocket of space. Now Wynn has it very, very close to the sideline, shrugs off the challenge, stands back, screws up the bully, as they say, in TG Carter. But in fairness to Harry Sweeney, who read that one well, but there was a man knocking inside there. That man was Guyler, who did very well indeed to get out before he got a paw to it. Ball is swept back down to the opposite end of the field once more. But a defending to do here now for the Ennistymon men, and they're doing it very, very well indeed. Well, Ricky Williams back there, he was being fouled, so too was Mark O'Loughlin. He was the man that won the free. Wynn is going to take it, and he's eager to get on with it. Why wouldn't he be? We've 13 minutes left. We side trail by a point. Give Cormac 1-10, Ennistymon 1 goal and 9. Dropping it down in the direction again of Guyler, but once again, just in these last couple of moments, break starting to go the way of the Offaly men, but this one is being turned over. Chance for Guyler now to get those feet lifted. Turns inside and trickle customer off the trickle over the line. Just can't get it away, but the referee saw that there was a stray hurley across. Maybe that's what they need to do, Peter, be a little bit more direct. We know they've got pace, we know they've got power, now's the time to use it.
Yeah, it was a good free one by Josh Guyler. He'd been quiet for the last few minutes. I was just I suppose commenting there to myself that you know, the last little while Sean Wynn has done very well, but Josh Guyler took on his man. Josh Guyler has speed to burn as well, you know, and I suppose running at the defenders and running straight at goal and not trying to take too many passes is going to be a key for this time in the next little while. Every point is vital, and we should be able to get a score here, which will bring us back to a 1-10 to 1-10 game, and it'll be anybody's match then with 12 minutes to go on the clock there.
Yeah, I'm just having a look through the programme, Peter, because it is a distinct possibility of extra time. Don't see anything of that direction, so maybe it goes straight to a replay. So we'll try and ascertain all that and wait and see what will happen, because at the minute it is looking like it's going right down to the wire, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'd say it would be extra time. I'd say it'd probably result on the day, I'd imagine, you know. I don't know, but it looks very likely now that we could have a draw at the end of the match.
As we said, there hasn't been much between the sides. I think 2 points has been the biggest gap between the sides right up to now, and we've played 49 or so minutes, so I don't see anything that will change that before we hit 62 or 3, which is when this one will end, as we watch Josh Guyler try to save that one simple enough free, but you have to take your time with it. It's 1-10 apiece in Ennistymon and Naomh Cormac, nothing to separate these sides. Both have been putting up big scores. Both haven't been conceding goals on their way to the final as well, and those two stats are bearing fruit at the minute. Bearing fruit is this big attack now from the Naomh Cormac win right into the corner in towards Alex Kavanagh. Himself and Mark O'Loughlin have gotten to know each other very, very well over the course of the last 50 minutes or so, but that ball has gone out over the end line. The puck out has been taken. I'd say the referee though is going to tell him go the way back. He certainly is. McDarragh O'Keefe had come into space. He had been found brilliantly by Daniels with that puck out, but he's going to have to do it all again. 20 minutes gone, second half. 1-10 apiece here in this All-Ireland Senior C final with the Michael Cusick Cup, the prize on offer for the victors. McDarragh O'Keefe did well just to shimmy that ball out towards the sideline, but again the pressure comes on from the man wearing the number 2 jersey, Oisín Guinan, from the Kilcormac Cloughy club. It was out over the sideline, and I'm sure the camera up top here is picking up the fact that the supporters are pushed right out to the wire. It's a packed stand here behind us in Tumivara. A fine venue it is as well, plenty parking, and all the stewards couldn't have been more helpful. And in fairness, Robert Ryan is even out for the occasion. When you see Robert out, you know it is a big occasion, certainly around Munster hurling. The ball is played right down into the corner again, that line ball taken, but it's again gathered up inside of the Kilcormac defence by the man wearing the number 9 jersey, Brecon Kavanagh. He's become a little bit more prominent early doors. The Wicklow win have been very, very prominent right throughout, winning that ball but putting it down along the sideline here in front of us. Just got a little bit scrappy. People, you feel nerves are starting to play a part here now for some of them.
Yeah, it's tight now, you know, it's 1-10 apiece. There's 21 minutes gone in the second half, 9 minutes left. It's good, you know, but I still feel Ennistymon are well in the game, you know, and they've enough experience and they've enough guys in the field and enough match winners to see this one out.
And to take a line from Seamus Moorsong with the 150, Rever on the corners will be the instruction now for Ennistymon. We had a mighty night with Seamus, would you believe, in the Westbridge Bar in Milton last night for the second night of the wedding. 74 years young, and the JCB man is still going as strong as ever. A mighty man from Callan and County Kilkenny. A mighty man from Inagh Lamona is Mark Hanlon doubling on that ball, but the referee is going to show a second yellow card. Richard Bracken is going to be walking for Naomh Cormac, who will finish the game with 14 men. In fairness, I don't think he can argue with it, Peter. There was a mistimed challenge. We'll call it no more than that, but it was a second yellow card. And when you're on the first one, the second one has to come.
It was a bad challenge, yeah. You know, the ball was gone. He shouldered him in the chest. He's got his red card. So listen, the game keeps changing. In a sign of an extra player back there now, maybe might be able to tighten things up a little bit more at the back now as well. And now, you know, it's seesaw, swinging over and back all the time.
And the choir behind us are getting their voice going as well as Josh Guyler wins that ball on the far side of the field. He's been fouled, the free is going to go in, and in fairness, I think Brian Keoghan, I was thinking couldn't be going that way. His hand just went up the wrong way. He just forgot his bearings for a second. It's going to be a free out as Colin Spain is going to take that ball. 1-10 apiece. 14 plays 15 with the Cormac Cloughy, the Naomh Cormac club up there down to 14 men. Ennistymon CBS hoping to use that to their advantage, hoping to use the pace of Jamie Wynn up towards the 65 metre line. He comes far side of the field, just needs the help to come. He's getting a little bit isolated over there, and again the ball is being turned over. The referee is on hand, so too is the linesman. Josh Fahan was fighting away on the far side of the field. It'll be a line ball now for Ennistymon. 23 minutes gone. It's 1-10 apiece, and it's very, very simple now, Peter. Whoever wants to go and win this is there for him.
That's it, yeah, and everybody's getting excited. You know, the atmosphere here, Derek, is unbelievable. Like, you know, the crowd are getting very animated with the referee. They're roaring the players to let the ball in, let the ball go, and all that. You know, it's a high pressure situation now, and it's a great occasion for these players to be part of.
They'll remember this for a while, but they'll remember it even more if there's a medal in their back pocket after it. At the minute, we're no closer to finding a winner. 6.5 of normal time plus whatever additional time is to come, and 1-10 apiece is how it stands. And a man that's looking fairly cool, I have to say, Peter, throughout is the man here in front of us, Mr. Éanna Rewine. He's had the hand in the pocket right throughout. Everybody else is getting excited, but he's coolness personified.
Yeah, he's standing there, he's taking it all in, and he's not getting too excited at all. But as we go along here now, there's been a lot of sidelines in the game. You know, the ball has been out to play a lot, particularly in the last 6 or 7 minutes, and probably suits Ennistymon, Derek, you know, to keep the, you know, playing against the wind. You know, the ball's out of play. It's up that hinge at the moment, and it's another sideline again.
Yeah, you couldn't write it. It's all happening on the far side of the field. Remember, they led by a point at half time. Now it's level, but they have Cormac crucially down to 14 men, with Richard Bracken, their centre forward, getting his marching orders just a couple of moments ago. Line ball taken from the deep, came in, swinging it over the right shoulder, but it's just dropping to the left and wide. He ghosted in there somehow on the 45 metre line, won the ball between three defenders. The finish just not there, but you get the feeling now that in his time, and the game is there for them to turn the screw as the puck out is taken once more, right down onto the 65 metre line. It comes tidy cornerback play from Mark Cannon on this occasion, just trying to keep that ball alive, trying to work it through the lines. Josh Vaughan is the next man up, and he drives up now towards the 45 metre line, being chased, but there's no catching him as he gets the hand pass away in towards Mullins. Can he find the one that might just win it? Oh, again, it just goes to the left hand side and wide, and not for the first time, Peter. Hopefully it won't be fatal from an Ennistymon point of view, but there's been a couple of missed chances, isn't there?
Yeah, since the man we sent off Ennistymon have had enough of the ball, most of the ball, but you know, we've had 7 wides in the match so far, like, you know, I think maybe 3 wides in the last few minutes there, and we have the ball again now. Here's Ricky Wynn coming out with it. And he's going to set up another attack, but we could do this score more shortly.
1-10 apiece, it's how it stands. 4.5 of normal plus additional time to go, and the ball has been turned over once more. The referee says there was a foul committed down there. Your man inside full back is fairly pumped up at the minute. The crowd, and just looking around, Peter, we're in the minority in terms of people that are actually still sitting. Everybody getting right into this now. Big finale in store.
It's a huge occasion. You know, we've families here, parents here. I suppose you can imagine how nervous they are now at the moment. You know, a few minutes to go, maybe 5 minutes or 6 minutes to go, and now they're in the final, and it's level, and it's anybody's match. You know, all the hopes and dreams, and there's Liam Cotter after winning the free. The Kilcormac crowd are not happy with their free at the moment, Derek, but the man here beside us is roaring a little bit.
Yeah, but I think we picked it up, but we warned him about that. Now, in fairness to Liam Cotter, he's after winning the free. Your man is on the floor, and I think that sums up Cotter, because he was there. The challenge came, it was fairly frontal. There was no doubt about the free in my mind anyway. Maybe we're looking at it through saffron and blue tinted glasses here in the stand, but in fairness, your man tried to do Cotter. He just stood his ground. He ended up on the floor, but crucially, the ball is now in possession of Josh Guyler. Now he's standing on the 65 metre line, pretty much dead straight in front of the post, and we're looking at the flags right here in front of us, and they are blowing in his face. That breeze has picked up a little bit, as Peter mentioned. It's coming in gusts and bursts rather than being a consistent wind right throughout the game. And well, look, they were born and reared on the north coast of Clare. They're well used to wind, and that won't be something that'll put off Josh Guyler. But just a little bit of gamesmanship going on now. Big moment. You get to feel it now, Peter. 27 minutes gone in the second half. This is an opportunity, albeit a difficult one.
It's a difficult opportunity. Yeah, it's on the 65. It's probably at the edge of his range now with that wind, you know. But if there's a man who could do this, Josh Guyler. He's a great striker of the ball. There's a Kilcormac man down with cramp at the moment in front of it, and I see Josh's mother Teresa and his sister Abby is sitting right in front of us, so it must be tense time for them as well.
Absolutely. What a family, a GA family the Guylers have been for both Ennistymon football and for Inagh Lamona hurling as well. Like they've kept them ticking over there for a good number of years as well, and they watched the latest starlet now, Joshua, placing the ball right on the 65 metre line. Big moment for him. The white helmet, the pink grip, and the cool mind now as he just looks up towards the post as we watch inside. There's a couple of runs being made, and that's exactly where the ball is going to go, out here towards, I think that's Shane Wood is trying to contest, but what a take by James Mahon, the full-back. That's back over to McDarrow Keith. Lovely hands, lovely feet, and a lovely finish. Is it going to go over the bar? It hits the top of it, and it goes straight between the posts. Not for the first time this afternoon, McDarrow Keith there when the break was to be won. He looked up, Peter, and somehow, I don't know how he found the space to flick the wrist. They go back out into the lead. It's 111 to 110.
Yeah, it was a very smart free by Josh Guyler. He probably felt it was outside his range, lobbed the ball in. And this time we got the break, it came off the post, and they got the score, you know. And sometimes when your luck is in at the other end of the field earlier on, Cormac hit the post and the ball stayed out of the goals, you know. So Ennistymon are using the ball very well since the man was sent off. And here is Josh Guyler.
Here comes Guyler again. One flick of the wrist. He puts the finger up in the air as the ball goes over the bar. Ennistymon lead by 2. It's 112 to 110. 29 minutes gone, second half. You spoke about the Guylers, Peter. We didn't need umpires because they told us it was gone over.
Oh, fantastic score. So well worked by the team, and they played very well. But now they've have a lot of defending to do.
They certainly have, because it's that man Screeney bearing down on goal all the way through. What a save! Oh, the second one just wouldn't come. Brilliant bravery from Kieran Daniels to keep that out, and an air swipe meant that the rebound didn't go near the goals. They live to survive. They still lead by 2. Referees inside watching this one now as Daniel Hand has it, bearing down on goal, tries to put it across. Oh, this could be dangerous for Kavanagh! Oh, that is heartbreaking from an Ennistymon point of view, but at least there's still time to go. Alex Kavanagh with his second goal of the game, and suddenly Naomh Cormac have turned it around. They now lead by a point. Now it all becomes about finding that leveller. You can hear the Offaly crowd behind us. They're pumped up after that. A brilliant bullet of a goal. You have to hand it to the man wearing the number 13 jersey. Ball goes out over the sideline. It'll be a line ball for Naomh Cormac. Peter, you could just feel the stomach sinking.
Yeah, tough moments, you know. Great goal for Cormac. Alex Kavanagh gets his second goal in the match. You know, I suppose a quick puck out. Ball got into the danger man, Adam Screeney. He ran through 3 or 4 in the time players. There were a few goal chances. Kieran Daniels in the goals made a great save originally. And Simon had a good chance to clear the ball, didn't clear it, and then the ball went over to Alex Kavanagh and he scored a goal. So now we are with time up, 30 minutes gone the clock. Hopefully there'll be a couple of minutes of injury time, and if we can get a point to draw the game and maybe bring it into extra time there.
I'd imagine there will, but we've had plenty of stoppages in this second half. Let's see if Ennistymon can engineer a levelling score. They led by 2 just a couple of moments ago, but Alex Kavanagh's goal has turned us into a 1-point lead for Naomh Cormac. James Mahon has been outstanding for them in their full back line this afternoon, and he has cleared the lines once more, but jutting inside there is Ryan Mullins, but again, ball has been turned around and it's Ennistymon trying to turn it over. It's going to be a free. A foul there on Charlie Bracken. Ryan Mullins, in fairness, it was just right here in front of Peter. He can have no arguments about that, but that was some battling by the Cormac boys.
Yeah, they've been very impressive. You know, there's a lot of Offaly hurling now on the rise again. They won the under-20 All-Ireland football final last year, and on top of Michael Didy got in. You could see like there's 14 of these this team from Cormac. Hilahi, Kerry, they must have some club team really.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about that. Will they be bringing an All-Ireland title home though? That's the question to be answered in the next couple of minutes. 31-51 is what the clock tells us. 2-10 Cormac, 1-12 Ennistymon. That ball is driven long by Daniel Hand. It's going to drop to the right hand side, and it's not even going to go wide. It's Coleman Kelly who picks it up. One last chance you feel for him in Ennistymon point of view as Josh Vaughan takes that ball on, sells the dummy, tries to find the space to run into. He's on his own 65. He has to go long. He has to go direct, and he's dropping it right down into that danger zone. Again, Mahon goes up with the paw. Ball breaks down, has he won it inside in the ruck, and that's outstanding full back play. James Mahon bursting clear, gets the hand pass away, up towards Hand once more on his own 65-metre line. That is a score worthy of winning any All-Ireland final. Brilliant full back play from James Mahon. These last couple of minutes, Peter, he's been immense. Out to Daniel Hand, and from his own 65, drove it straight between the posts.
Fantastic score, you know. Great hurling, great credit due to both teams here now, you know. I know it's over 2 points down, but it's some contest, you know, and it's still anybody's game, you know. This time we still have a chance. They might get a chance at a goal yet, although the danger man has it again now. Daniel Hand
striking off the left hand, but it goes to the left and wide. We're looking at the clock, 33 minutes. We got no official announcement of injury time, but I'd imagine we're not far away from that final whistle being blown. Here comes the puck out. Referee had the whistle in his mouth, took it out. Thankfully, we don't want this game to end just yet. Let's get it to extra time, but Ennistymon are going to need the ball to do just that. Ricky Wen comes on to, was he fouled? Mark O'Loughlin was the man that tried to barrel through there, but it's been picked up by the Naomh Cormac men. Is there going to be one last chance to engineer that score? Down along the far stand sideline goes Keith Parry, but the ball has been turned over. It's going to be a free for Naomh Cormac, and as much as I hate to say it, Peter, could that be that?
That looks like it, Derek. Yeah, it's one of those for throwing the ball again. I think, you know, but the referee was close to it, he probably saw it. So if they can get this scored and do with them 3 points up, and time looks to be pretty much up as well now. So it's been a ding-dong battle. Ennistymon, I suppose, will rule those few wides that they had after the man was sent off, and then having gone 2 points up, probably didn't defend the puck out that well, and maybe we might have one last chance. He missed that free, so we're still a 2 point game.
Yeah, referee's happy enough to let the play go. I was surprised at that, I have to say. The ball has been won. It's Mark O'Loughlin coming through up towards the 65 metre line, has to turn back. This one needs to go direct, it has to go in around the house, dropping it right down in towards Wynn, but again that one has been turned over. That full back line has been immense, and it's the number 5 Ushing Kilmartin that's bringing it clear on this occasion. Down it comes to that man Kavanagh, picking it up on the 65, popping the pass off towards Ushing Guine, and he has a strike at the post. It goes to the right and wide, but it's as good as a score at this stage. The referee is just looking up. Still the whistle is nowhere near the mouth. He's allowing the puck out to go on. One of the defenders there, Mark Mulrooney, has dropped down to tie his lace. The referee is telling him get up and get out of it as he's standing on the 65 metre line. The puck out is coming. Thankfully again he keeps the whistle in his hand. The ball again is down in the direction of Shane Woods. That's where the last 3 or 4 have gone, but this time it's been turned over. Now the full-time whistle is blown, and it's Naomh Cormac who have been crowned All-Ireland Senior C both primary school hurling champions in the most dramatic of fashions. Peter looking around the field, it's hard not to feel gutted for those Ennistymon lads. Absolutely crestfallen. To lose a final last week is heartbreaking enough. To be 2 points up in injury time, you'd think it's in the hand. Next thing, 1-1 without reply. It's all a bit of a blur at the minute for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough going on them, you know. They've had a great year. They'd hurling football every second week. Sometimes they'd 2 matches in 1 week. And I suppose, you know, when they got to the football and the hurling final, they had dreams of winning both. I suppose to come away without winning any is going to be disappointing. But look, overall they've had a great year. They 2 Munster finals, and I suppose they were the big ones, Derek. You know, the All-Ireland is a huge bonus after that. You know, but they can be very, very proud of their efforts. They battled manfully. Probably gave themselves a little bit much to do maybe when they did the purple patch in the middle of the first half. Didn't score enough maybe in that time. After the man was sent off as well, I suppose they had a couple of wides as well. But I'd say at the end of the day, you say the better team won the match.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you mentioned, it's hard for them maybe to look back on that now. Those 2 months of successes we can see. Those helmets and hurleys being thrown there in sheer frustration. But as you mentioned, huge strides for them to take forward now, because hopefully a lot of these fellas or guys are going to see going on to Clare 20 and senior squads in the next couple of years. That's, I suppose, the end goal really, isn't it? To keep that conveyor belt of talent going. They'll take an awful lot from it. Disappointment today, obviously, but ultimately progression.
Yeah, they've long and distinguished careers ahead of them, I'd say, a lot of them. You know, you'd be hoping that they'll all stay hurling, that they'll keep playing for their clubs. There's a few of them already. They're established senior players with their clubs. Niall Mullins and Joshua Goyler were on the Ireland team last year. The Ireland Kilmartin team, they got to the county final. I'd say it won't be long before we see Sean Rinn in the Ireland Kilmartin senior jersey as well. Mark O'Loughlin is well established with Cormac Finn. Hopefully we'll see some of them on Terence Fahey and Brendan Bugler's Clare under 20 squad. Jamie Wynn is on the Clare minor squad at the moment, and with Brian O'Connell and Donal Maloney among others, and he's been very impressive. He played today with a broken toe as well, you know, so they've had their few injuries. Dermot Fahey was injured, broke his ankle in the football semi-final. He was a big loss as well there today, you know, but you couldn't but be proud of the lads. They kept going right to the final whistle, you know. It was such a ding-dong battle. There was no space out there in the field for anybody, you know. It was every ball, every ruck was contested very manfully, and just in the end of the day they came up slightly short.
Absolutely, couldn't have summed it up better. Peter Casey, thanks for joining us here across the afternoon on our coverage here on Clare FM, and also thanks to Brian McLaughlin back at base, and to Alan and all his crew as well, bringing you that live stream if you are watching on our website. And of course a huge thank you to all the crew at the Falls Hotel and Spa as well, indeed, Michael and Dan and Eileen and Sharon and all the crew up there as well. Delighted to have had them on board. Unfortunately the Michael Cusick Cup won't be coming to the famous Cascades this evening. Instead it's going to Naomh Cormac, and no doubt to the clubhouse of Kilcormac Killarney after they have been crowned champions here with victory over Ennistymon CBS this afternoon. Don't forget, a whole host of live coverage still to come tomorrow afternoon here on Clare FM. We'll be live in both Cusack Park for Clare versus Meath in the Alliance National Football League, and also up in Pearse Stadium in Salt Hill, Clare and Galway in the Alliance National Hurling League. A huge afternoon of sport to look forward to, but a huge evening of celebrating to do as well now, as we might head back to West Clare maybe to join up with the crew from the wedding. Where they'll be, I don't know, but we'll find them somewhere, no doubt about that. For now though, we'll go back to Brian McLaughlin in studio, and thank you indeed for tuning in.